Election night is still more than a year away, but the race for who gets to challenge President Donald Trump is heating up. And the state of the economy is taking center stage.
Corporations are getting wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, and the stockholders and the CEOs are doing real well. But look what's happened. Wages for the employees have gone down.
Latest data are a blow to Trump's re-election hopes. The U.S. added 130,000 jobs in August, down from 164,000 the month before. And economic growth slumped to 2% in the second quarter, from 3.1% in the first. To counter that slowdown, the U.S. Federal Reserve has slashed its key interest rate target range by a quarter of a point. It's now between 1.75 and 2%.
We took this step to help keep the U.S. economy strong in the face of some notable developments and to provide insurance against ongoing risks.
According to Chairman Jerome Powell, the biggest of those risks is slowing global growth, largely due to the trade war between the U.S. and China. The IMF says the dispute could shave nearly 1% off global growth in 2020. But Trump lashed out at the central bank chief, saying Fed policies were holding the economy back.
I think that they made some mistakes. And the mistake was he raised too fast and he lowered too slow. But despite that, we have a great economy. We're the greatest economy in the world. We're doing really well.
Analysts say resolving the dispute with China will be Trump's best chance of getting a stronger economy heading into the 2020 elections. US-China trade talks resumed in Washington this week after a 2-month pause in negotiations. Trump is reportedly hoping to get a deal that benefits the farmers who helped him win his last election. Paolo Montecillo, TRT World.
For more, let's go to Santosh Rao, Head of Research at Manhattan Venture Partners in New York. Santosh, the president has once again lashed out at the Fed chairman. Why is he agitating for bigger cuts?
Yes, I mean, that's very well telegraphed. He's been saying that loud and clear. He would rather have 0% than 1.75% to 2%. So I think there is a disconnect between what he wants and the Fed, and Fed has done the right thing. I think he's found the right balance. The press conference was very well done, very well. I think he stayed on script. He just kind of stayed in the middle of the freeway, did not swerve here and there. I think this is good. This was the right thing to do at this point. He kept some ammunition for himself in case the trade wars continue to cause some destabilizing, increase the destabilization going around worldwide. So I think if he can just stay the course like this, keep the ammunition for himself, I think that's a good thing.
It has been a divisive decision, though. Some policymakers wanted them on hold. Some policymakers wanted a bigger cut. Why is there such a disparity in thinking here?
Yeah, you know, that's the whole debate. Do we? I know Ms. Trump wants the dollar to weaken a little bit. It's very, very strong. The rest of the world is slowing down. The rest of the economies are slowing down. The others have cut interest rate. They're on negative yields. Most of them are. So I think what Trump really wants is some kind of, he doesn't want the gap to just get too wide and the dollar get too strong. So I think he wants it to come down. But I think the Fed is saying that we don't need to do that. We don't need to panic. Stay there. The U.S. economy is doing very, very well. And we need to keep it at this level and just not get too crazy about this. We don't need a booster shot at this point by lowering the rates. The demand is good and inflation is down. So everything is fine at this level. So we'll see. I mean, like he said, he's going to watch the data. If things get worse, he may cut more. But he hasn't promised and said that, you know, we're going to do 2 or 3 more. He's not going to do that. So I think the real division, like you said, is between do we need it and do we don't. Only 3 of them really said that we need to go deeper. But I think most of them agreed that this was the right thing to do at this point.
We've got face-to-face talks resuming now in Washington with the hope of ending this US-China trade war. What do you think we can expect out of this round of talks?
Right. I mean, this is the first stage. I think it's a little lower level officials meeting at this point. They're going to just kind of work on the periphery of the trade deals, just kind of work out the things that can be done, kind of get closer, do the fine print. But I think the real meeting is going to be the next one where the senior executives meet. In fact, even Trump and Xi might meet at some point down the road after the initial meetings. So this is really a first step forward, get the low-lying fruit out of the way, and then attack the big ones later on. That's the plan. So we'll see. I think this one should be successful in what they want to do. But the second one is what everyone wants to see, and hopefully there will be some resolution at that point.
Seeing Trump and Xi sitting down at the table together would really be a sign of goodwill on both sides. How likely is it? I mean, that's what the markets want to see. How likely is it that that's going to happen?
Well, it's tough to say. I mean, we thought we had it. Both of them were saying the right things, but it didn't work out. See, what U.S. wants is a fundamental change in the way China does business. And China is not ready to accept that they are in violation of anything. Intellectual property theft is a huge factor for U.S. They want that fixed. The stealing technology is not good. And U.S., for once, they have China in the corner. All the other presidents have said things, but they could never really go this far. Trump is the only president who's really come this far, and the only president who can really force the issue on China. So I think it's become, we have this big thing coming up on October 1st, this China's anniversary, 70th anniversary. So I think they will hold the fort at that point, until that point. Not do anything, not appear weak, but after that, the hope is that there will be more concessions, and there will be some kind of a compromise in between where U.S. gets what it wants and China gets what it wants. So kind of both of them need some face saving at this point. I think that's where we are at this point. Both need to settle this. Like the Fed chairman said yesterday, this trade overhang is the biggest problem hanging over the economy right now. If that's settled, I think it'll be good for both of them.
Santosh Rao, always good to get your analysis and your input here on Money Talks. Thanks for your time.